morning and welcome to Love Every Moment, coming to you today from the Pine Forest of Watson Lake, Yukon. So today's verse is 1 Peter 4:1. Therefore, since Christ has suffered in the flesh, arm yourselves also with the same purpose, because he who has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. Wow, this is some verse. It's basically all of Romans 6 encapsulated in a single verse. So there's a lot going on here and a lot for us to tackle today. It starts with therefore, and we know what that refers to. The whole previous chapter where it talked about how Christ was our example of submission to the point of suffering to the point of even crucifixion. Once he was able to deny his flesh to the point of suffering even a terrible death, then he conquered sin and death and rose again into heaven. And he is our example. It says, arm yourselves also with the same purpose. Well, Jesus didn't live a posh life. He lived a very, very simple life. He basically had a few clothes on his back and a few pieces of fish to eat and water and so forth. He really didn't have a lot of the trappings of modern life, not like we have today. And he denied himself a lot of the things we might now think are really important. And this says here, because he who has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. That's a heck of a statement, and it's very reminiscent of one we covered way back here. That is 1 John 3:9. And I normally don't really emphasize you should watch that one. This time you really should click on that and watch it. It says, no one who is born of God practices sin because his seed abides in him, and he cannot sin because he is born of God. He cannot sin. That's a heck of a statement right there. Now, I've used a metaphor quite a few times, and my regular viewers might be a little bit tired of it, but it is so apropos for today. I'm hoping that for the sake of my new viewers, they will tolerate this again. Here is the metaphor. My life is a car and I'm the driver. I'm in full control of the vehicle of my life. And I'm driving down the road. I see the Holy Spirit trying to wave me down in the road. And if I'm an atheist, I just drive on by. If I'm an agnostic, I might roll down the window and listen, but then drive on by. But then at some point, I might roll down the window, listen to the Holy Spirit, and even obey what the Spirit is telling me. And at that point, I might think, well, I must be a Christian. I'm listening to the Spirit and I'm obeying. But I'm not a Christian, not yet. In fact, I got a fairly bold statement to say. Even when I am obeying the Spirit, I am sinning. And you say, how's that possible? You're obeying the Holy Spirit. How can you be sinning? It's because I'm doing this obedience out of my own human efforts. I'm still in control of the car. So I'm doing what the Pharisees did. I'm using my own human efforts to keep the law. Well, that didn't get the Pharisees very far, and it's not going to get me anywhere. I become a Christian when I open the door, scooch over, and let the Holy Spirit have full control of the vehicle of my life. And he can control everything. My pocketbook, my politics, my diet, my nationality, my career, my dreams, my hopes, my hobbies. Even brushing my teeth. He can actually control every part of my life. That's when I become a Christian. And as long as he's in control, then yes, I can't sin, because obviously he's not going to control me and make me sin, right? So the only time I'll sin after I become a Christian is when I reach over and maybe try to steer somewhere. And of course, that's going to lead to disaster if he wants to turn left and I reach over and try to turn right. But he's now in full control because I surrendered to him in love. So let's surrender everything to him in love, because if we love every moment, we're going to love every moment. I'm your average Dretch, and I hope you have a great week.